They said the streets always knew. Every whisper in the alley, every glance across a club, every bar dropped in a battle. Somehow, the truth always found a way to bleed through. But this time, no one saw it coming. In a culture where legends are built off reputation and silence is often more valuable than confession, Eazy the Block Captain has done the unthinkable. A man known for his ferocity on the mic, his tactical genius in the battle rap arena, has turned the spotlight on something far more dangerous than competition. He exposed something raw, something filthy, something so personal that even his most loyal fans have taken a step back, reeling in disbelief. And at the center of it all stands a woman few would dare challenge, Remy Ma, the undisputed queen of the Bronx. In the world of hip-hop, privacy is a fortress. Artists guard their personal lives with an iron will, especially when love, loyalty, and legacy are on the line. So when Eazy, whose career has skyrocketed in recent years, began making cryptic posts on social media, tweets laced with implication, Instagram lids with shadowy nods, it didn't take long for fans to notice something was off. But no one imagined that those vague allusions would snowball into a full-blown scandal, one that has left the industry reeling. What started as rumor has erupted into controversy. The streets are buzzing, the blogs are boiling, and the drama is playing out on a stage bigger than any battle he's ever stepped into. Because this isn't just about music. This is about betrayal, about boundaries crossed, about secrets hidden in smoke-filled back rooms and penthouse suites with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking cities that never sleep. According to Eazy, his connection with Remy Ma wasn't a fleeting flirtation. It wasn't about clout or convenience. It was deeper. It was emotional. It was dangerously intoxicating. The kind of bond that can collapse marriages, tarnish reputations, and destroy careers in a heartbeat. The kind of bond that challenges everything we thought we knew about Remy Ma and Papoose, a couple long celebrated as the epitome of hip-hop loyalty. So how did it all begin? What really happened behind those velvet ropes, behind the curated Instagram posts and industry smiles? According to insiders, the spark between Eazy and Remy was lit in the elite corners of the music world, the kinds of spaces where cameras are forbidden and truth is optional. Exclusive events where billionaires toast to secret deals and fame blurs the lines between loyalty and temptation. These weren't public settings. These weren't industry mixers or press runs. These were private rooms, closed-door conversations where Remy and Eazy allegedly grew closer in ways that had nothing to do with music. It wasn't just whispers anymore. Over time, those quiet moments, the laughs shared at after-parties, the long glances during panel discussions, the subtle body language, began to catch attention. People who once brushed off any speculation began to reconsider. And once Eazy's social media activity started hinting at something more, a betrayal, a deep connection with someone y'all wouldn't believe, the internet did what it does best. It investigated, it analyzed, it obsessed. And then came the moment that changed everything. A private event in Miami, the guest list, tightly controlled, the vibe, lavish and exclusive. It was there that multiple witnesses claimed they saw Eazy and Remy standing together in a quiet corner, speaking in hushed tones, their proximity charged with an energy that couldn't be ignored. Attendees noted the way she laughed, not her usual tough girl grin, but a softness rarely seen in public. Eazy, for his part, remained locked in, never breaking eye contact. The rest of the room faded away. People noticed, people remembered. What followed was a wave of reports from multiple cities, New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles. Sightings of the two at odd hours, entering or leaving hotels, leaving restaurants through back exits, always just a few minutes apart. These weren't coincidence. These were calculated, planned. Some insiders even alleged that non-disclosure agreements were signed to ensure silence from anyone who helped coordinate their meetings. The secrecy only heightened the speculation. The more the rumors spread, the quieter Remy became and the louder Eazy grew. Then came the Instagram live session that detonated the internet. Though the video was deleted, it lived on through screen recordings. In it, Eazy alluded to a certain rap queen not being as loyal as fans believed. The comment section exploded with speculation, and when someone directly mentioned Remy Ma, Eazy didn't laugh it off. He didn't deny it. He just gave a smirk, shook his head, and said, "Man, y'all don't even know the half." That was it. That was all it took. Hip-hop blogs ran with it. YouTube commentators turned it into full-length exposes. Twitter turned into a battleground. But even as the frenzy reached a boiling point, Remy remained silent. Her social media remained carefully curated, professional, neutral, smiling, but noticeably void of any direct statement about the accusations. And therein lies the problem. Because when a public figure chooses not to deny something this big, silence becomes a statement in itself. Then the shock deepened. A leaked voice memo surfaced, allegedly from Eazy himself. In the audio, a man with his exact tone and cadence describes late nights in penthouse suites, windows reflecting city lights, intimate conversations, and a bond forged in secrecy. He speaks of being understood by someone who shared his struggle, someone who let him drop the mask, even if just for a few hours. The voice speaks of a connection that went beyond lust, of vulnerability, of companionship, of something more profound than the public could comprehend. It didn't take long for fans to dissect every second. They matched locations, compared dates, scored Remy's old posts, trying to line up events with the details mentioned in the voice note. The puzzle pieces began to fall into place, and through it all, the image of Remy Ma, the fierce, loyal, married rap icon, started to crack. Her silence had once been a sign of strength. Now it read more like evasion. As for Papoose, the usually composed husband who spent years championing his wife and her love story, things began to change. In a now viral clip, Papoose was seen at a public event, visibly tense. No smiles, no words, just a haunted look in his eyes. Fans read between the lines. Had he heard the rumors? Was the pressure getting to him? Had the perfect image of their relationship finally reached its breaking point? Meanwhile, Eazy the Block Captain, he's not hiding. If anything, he seems more emboldened than ever. In interviews, he dances around the topic, never confirming, but always hinting, always planting seeds. In one conversation, he remarked that he's been around certain industry figures in ways fans couldn't imagine. Another time, he casually dropped that he's shared private space with someone the streets hold on a pedestal. Every comment, every smirk, every pause adds another layer to the mystery. However, meanwhile, Eazy the Block Captain was carving out his own space in the hip-hop ecosystem. Known for his gritty delivery and raw authenticity, he was a new school battle rapper who quickly earned old school respect. But as his popularity rose, so did whispers. Fans noticed subtle interactions between him and Remy Ma, harmless at first. Flirty jokes on social media, too comfortable body language at events, chemistry that was hard to ignore. Then came the cryptic messages, the subliminal tweets, the suggestive Instagram captions. Eazy was saying something without saying it outright, and fans, always hungry for tea, started connecting the dots. Something was going on. Something that didn't fit the public image of Remy Ma, the loyal wife. And something that definitely didn't align with the quiet dignity of Papoose. The tension built slowly. Theories began to circulate online, with people revisiting every old interview, photo, and video clip for hidden clues. Eazy's confidence seemed to shift. His usual boldness took on a sharper edge, like a man holding onto a secret too heavy to carry quietly anymore. All it took was one explosive moment to make everything unravel. That moment came when a leaked phone call between Eazy and Papoose surfaced online. No flashy production, no edited soundbites. Just a raw, unfiltered conversation, recorded, allegedly leaked, and immediately viral. It's hard to describe the kind of silence that falls when one man tells another that he's been with his wife. Not in the past, not a mistake, but recently, repeatedly, emotionally. According to reports and the now infamous audio clip, the call started civil. Tense but calm. Papoose wasn't yelling, he wasn't crying. He was listening. Maybe he was trying to hold on to the last thread of dignity left in a situation so humiliating it didn't seem real. Eazy, however, didn't dodge. He didn't deny. He didn't soften his tone for comfort. Instead, he walked through it, detail by detail, like a man who had already made peace with the fallout. "You a good dude," Eazy allegedly said, his tone low, almost respectful. "And I ain't coming at you sideways. But I can't lie no more, bro. Remy, she came to me. She made her own choices. This wasn't me pressing her. This wasn't about clout. It was real. And she wanted it just as much as I did." In that moment, the humiliation wasn't just in the confession. It was in the delivery. The controlled calmness. The fact that Eazy didn't even sound like he was bragging, just stating facts. Cold, heartbreaking facts. And that made it worse. There was no outburst. No emotional plea for forgiveness. Just a quiet acknowledgement of betrayal, delivered straight to the man who had given everything for the woman now being exposed. Once the phone call hit the internet, it spread like wildfire. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube all lit up with reactions. Some people refused to believe it was real. Others said it made too much sense not to be. The voice sounded like Eazy. The pain sounded like Papoose. Comment sections filled with disbelief, heartbreak, and disappointment. People who had idolized Remy and Pap's relationship felt like they had just watched their own idea of love get shattered in real time. Memes popped up. Commentary videos hit 1 million views within days, and the hip-hop world found itself divided. But amidst all the chaos, there was one person who said nothing: Remy Ma. Her social media remained untouched. No posts addressing the scandal. No stories denying the call. Nothing but silence, and sometimes silence is louder than any statement. Fans begged for clarity, for the truth, for something, but she remained locked down, tight-lipped, calculated. Some said she was protecting her brand. Others said she was protecting her guilt. Either way, her refusal to speak left room for speculation to take over. If Papoose was angry, he didn't show it publicly. He didn't go on a rant. He didn't release a diss track or call for revenge. But his energy shifted. Videos surfaced showing him at public appearances, looking tense, withdrawn, almost vacant. The man who once smiled proudly beside his wife now seemed like he was holding the weight of 1,000 questions with no answers. Some fans praised him for not exploding. Others wished he would speak his truth and reclaim the narrative. But perhaps he didn't have the energy. Perhaps after giving everything for so long, he was just done. And that's the real heartbreak here. It wasn't just the betrayal of a marriage. It was the emotional dismantling of a man who had done everything right and still lost. A man who had waited, who had defended, who had built a family, a legacy, a reputation, all now overshadowed by a moment of weakness between his wife and another man. A man who didn't just lose in private, he lost in front of the world. As for Eazy the Block Captain, he didn't run from the fire, he stepped into it. He made vague references in interviews, threw suggestive captions on social media, and leaned into the controversy like it was just another part of his rise. He spoke about being in rooms y'all wouldn't believe and knowing people in ways fans can't imagine. He didn't confirm everything, but he didn't deny anything either. That smirk he gave when fans mentioned Remy Ma during a live stream. That said more than words ever could. Eazy didn't come out looking clean, but he came out looking in control. And that, in the eyes of many, was the real power move. Because while Remy stayed silent and Papoose stayed stoic, Eazy controlled the narrative. He didn't flinch, he didn't apologize. He simply let the world connect the dots and watched his name trend every day that followed. But here's the deeper question: why now? Why speak on it at all? Was it love gone wrong? A secret that got too heavy to carry alone? Or is this a calculated move, an intentional ploy to elevate his name in a culture that feeds off scandal and spectacle? In hip-hop, truth is often tangled with performance. But something about this feels different, feels personal, feels real. Because at the core of this story isn't just a tabloid-worthy affair. It's about power dynamics in a culture where image is everything. It's about loyalty and what happens when that loyalty is betrayed, not just in relationships, but in the public's trust. Eazy the Block Captain knew exactly what he was doing when he dropped that live. He knew what buttons to push, what lines to blur. And whether you believe him or not, he's forced the industry to reckon with uncomfortable questions. As for Remy Ma, her legacy isn't erased. Not yet, but it's complicated now. That once unshakable image of the devoted wife, the tough-as-nails queen who stood tall beside her man, that image is under fire. The court of public opinion is brutal, and in this game, silence doesn't equal innocence. It just gives people more time to write their own conclusions. This isn't just gossip. This is an emotional earthquake. An expose that may change how we view loyalty, fame, and what it means to truly keep it real in a world built on image. As this story continues to unravel, one thing's for sure: the streets are watching closely. And the next move? It's anyone's game.